Hey there, campers. We're going to get into this motorcycle thing. It's going to be fun getting that bike started up for the first time after years. But first, some background so you understand why the project's going on. I recently picked up this Class C motorhome far from my first RV. And so I'm well acquainted with the fact that I need to put a motorcycle on the back on the hitch to get around when I get where I'm going. Because once you park the motorcycle home, you need to get where you're going. So the typical cradle that goes in there is rated, motorcycle cradle rated for about 400 pounds, which in itself is quite a limitation. That's tough to match. However, with this one, it gets worse. Look at that, 350 pounds. 350 pounds. That's going to make for a lot of work. Finding a motorcycle that's light enough to put back there, not easy. Well, I did manage to find one. Managed to find one not that far from my house and at a good price. The only problem is it's old. It's 26 years old, and it's hadn't been run for 8 years, 9 years maybe, something like that. So got to get it back on the road. Only has 5,000 miles on it, great condition. And the owner, single owner, little old lady, and I mean truly little old lady, was the only owner of the thing and didn't ride it very much at all. So that's the process. We're going to get it back on the road, and I'll show you all of that. So we'll walk through it. I had to go and pick it up in my little trailer. Kind of interesting, the whole situation, but it worked out. Now, it's easy to get a motorcycle that's, say 300 pounds or lighter, but that's a dirt bike. I need a bike that's street legal, and that changes everything. It's really hard to find one that's street legal, but I did in this Suzuki, because it's actually 250 pounds dry weight. Every pound counts, and I'll get into that, but let's take a look at the bike. And there it is, a 2002 Suzuki DR200SE. Pretty well known as a bulletproof bike, a beginner bike. And for me, it's kind of absurd. I'm 6'3". It's going to look like a clown show with me riding this thing. But the thing is, it will do the job. I'll never have to go more than 45 miles an hour to get to some restaurant or grocery store or whatever when I'm camping. And I can look like and that'll be maybe 10 miles or something like that, 15 miles, probably at the most. So I can look like a clown show for a little while. That'll be fine. This bike has a great reputation for being absolutely bulletproof. It's very, very simple. It doesn't even have a fuel pump. It's just very simple. True 200 cc's, 248 pounds. So every pound counts, and I can only get rid of just a little bit of weight. I have to do a whole lot because it's old and sitting. But I'm replacing the battery with a lithium ion. I'll pull off the buddy pegs, which is a very small thing, but I can't really strip it down any more than that. And that'll save about 5 pounds. The big thing is, that's a 3.4 gallon gas tank. That's 20 pounds of gasoline. 20 pounds is a big deal. So if I plan appropriately, I'll take off with maybe a half gallon in the tank. This thing gets over 80 miles a gallon. So I take off with only a half gallon in the tank and carry a 2-gallon bottle in the RV. And that's 20 pounds right there. So all told, I can probably shave another 20 to 25 pounds off the bike. And then that will keep me well under that weight rating on the motorhome. All right, so let's get it up on the work stand and see what we have to do. And now it's up where we can get a look at it. Start going over what needs to be done, which is quite a bit. to bring this thing back to life. Last registered 2017. It hasn't been ridden in 8 or 9 years. It hadn't been started in 8 or 9 years. So there are a lot of implications to that for what needs to be done. Obviously, new battery. I already mentioned I'm going to put a lithium ion in there. It's already ordered. Should be here tomorrow. That'll save 4 pounds. Gas tank probably has, it's empty right now completely, and it probably has crud in it, might have rust, might need to be boiled out. Carburetor for sure needs to be rebuilt. The kit is on the way. Same with the petcock. And the whole thing is with the gas, normally when the gas sits, it turns to gum. But this has been so long that it turns to varnish. So the rebuild O-rings for this are like $5 plus shipping. I just ordered a new one. It's $12 for a new stopcock, petcock on there. And a complete rebuild kit I think was about $14. So that comes off. That gets replaced. The tires are original 26-year-old tires. Still got knobs on them because the bike only has 5,000 something on it. But tires can't go beyond 7 years. Even if they still have tread like this, they can't go beyond 7 years. The sidewalls get cracky and bad and dry from the sun and all that. No good. No bueno. So I'll probably put Shinko 705s on here, and I'll go down to the local cycle gear shop and take care of that. Of course, I have to go over the brakes. Going to change the spark plug just because at 5,000 miles it probably needs it, and I doubt it's ever been done. And I can't clean the spark arrestor because it's not that style. Check the air filter, change the oil. This has an oil filter in here. It's a fairly substantial oil filter. This little bugger holds 1 quart of oil. That's it, just 1 quart. That's all your cooling, your fins and your oil. That's all the cooling you get out of this thing. I need to, you can just see in there, coil over shock. With my big lard ass on this thing, I can already make it bottom out just by thumping it. So I need to get in there and turn that up. I haven't decided if I'm going to pull the gas tank. I have to look before I make that decision. So the question is, what's the first thing to do in a situation like this? And the answer is very simple. Remember, it hasn't been started in 7 years. There's no way I'm going to just crank this thing. First thing is, pull the spark plug and put some Marvel Mystery Oil in there and let it start soaking the rings. Give it a couple of days to soak the rings. Percolate down around all of them. Whether there's rust in there, there's certainly varnish. But to start it up just cold like this would be a disaster. It would score the cylinder walls and it would be shot, no compression. So I'll put some Marvel Mystery Oil in there, which is wonderful stuff. And then what I'll do is put it in a higher gear, jack up the rear end, and turn the engine over manually with the plug out. Turn the engine over manually so I can move the cylinder up and down and get that MMO all around the cylinder walls. So I will dig into that, and I will show you the progress as it goes. This will be the end of episode 1. Episode 2, I think, is going to be this situation. It was registered in Massachusetts, and when the owner relocated to Arizona, they didn't change the title to Arizona, and it hasn't been registered to since 17. That could mean as much as an $800 penalty to me when I go to the MVD. For those of you that are outside of Arizona, we use MVD instead of DMV because Arizona likes to be backwards. And a $100 a year penalty is what that should be. We'll find out tomorrow.